Hello and welcome to another episode of RentReady with Stephensons, where we discuss the general application, operating procedures, and safe handling of our tools and equipment. Today we will be spotlighting our line of centrifugal pumps. At Stephensons we carry two different sizes of centrifugal pumps. We carry the 2-inch and the 3-inch. These can also be referred to as clean water pumps. They're commonly used for pumping out pools, construction sites without contaminated water, ponds, or anything that's got a filtration system. The 2-inch has a capacity to pump about 150 gallons per minute and will pump ahead on the discharge side of up to 120 feet. The 3-inch has a capacity of about 250 gallons per minute and will pump ahead on the discharge side of about 110 feet. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the 2-inch pump. So looking at our 2-inch pump, we're going to have a 2-inch intake, a 2-inch discharge. We've got a primer cap, a drain cap, and then we've got our standard 4 horsepower Honda motor. On our 3-inch unit, we're going to have a 3-inch intake, 3-inch discharge, and a 5.5 horsepower Honda motor. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we're going to connect the hoses on this unit. So to set up our 2-inch pump, the first thing we're going to actually do on this pump is prime it. So we're going to remove the priming cap on the top of the casing, making sure our drain cap is tight. We're going to grab a bucket and pour some water down into the casing until you see it dribbling out the intake side. We can go ahead and replace our priming cap, making sure that the rubber gasket on it is in place. We'll then go ahead and grab our intake hose. We're going to select a clean water basket for this pump because it is a clean water pump. We want to make sure we don't accidentally suck up any debris that can damage the pump or clog the pump. We're then going to grab our intake side and slip it over top of the intake on the pump, clamp it into place, and put in our safety clip. On the discharge side, we're going to put our lay flat hose. We're going to clamp that into place, and we're going to go ahead and make sure that we put our safety clip in there as well. We're then going to go ahead, turn our on switch to the on position. We're going to turn our fuel line on and our choke on. We're going to make sure that our throttle is in the middle setting, and we're going to go ahead and pull the recoil. Once the engine is started, we can turn the choke off and throttle the pump up. Once you're finished with the pump, you're going to want to lower the throttle and go ahead and turn the pump off. You're going to want to wait 15 minutes before disconnecting any of the hoses. There is risk of injury because the muffler will be extremely hot and you have the risk of melting any of the hoses if it touches it. The last thing you want to do is make sure that you take the drain cap off and drain the casing out to protect it against any accidental freezing and to just make sure you've got the water cleared out of the pump. Thanks for joining us for this episode of RentReady with Stephensons. You're now ready to rent one of our centrifugal pumps. But remember, before you start any job, please stop, think, and then act.